On a fresh code pane, load the snippet examplets6 is set company with people.php and save the file in the forms folder. This script uses a drop-down to select a company from the table tcompany, tests it with isset, and displays a company details page with a list of people associated with that company. Let's collapse all of the components of this so we can see what's going on. Straight away, we try to get a value for a company ID by collecting any posted value that might have been sent to this script. We test if we actually got a value with isset and if it's actually greater than 0. If both of these conditions are true, we process that data by getting the details of the company selected, then getting the details of all associated persons, and then displaying the output. If these conditions are not true, else, we simply display the drop-down for the user to select the company ID. When they've done that, it is sent to the same script, and then company ID takes on the value of the posted form component company ID. We don't need to bother with this again, the drop-down, because it's exactly the same as the company select script that we've dealt with before. Indeed, the output is almost identical, and remember, these braces are for teaching purposes only and not necessarily part of the PHP code, although they are an optional extra that you can put in. The output identifies two style variables in order to alternate the style of the rows. So the tr component in the output has a row class, which is then applied to the 4 columns in each row. If the row is odd, then the background color is set to that. If the row is even, then the background color is set to something different. But first up, we get the details of the company we selected in the drop-down by selecting all fields from tcompany where the ID field has the value of the company ID selected. And we set up the variables that we're going to display at the very top of our output section. We then get the details of all the associated person records by selecting all the fields from tperson where the associated company ID field has the same value again as the company ID we selected. We put all of those person records into an array, incrementing the index of the array by 1 each time it cycles through the records, and we collect the number of rows into the variable numPersons. We've already saved that, so let's look at that in the browser. We need to go to the Forms folder and run company with people. It asks us to select a company and submit the query. And now we have the company name, the company address in the top of the display, and an alternating styled set of rows for each person in the company. Let's just finish that off by changing the reference in our index file from company select to our new file company with people and save, so that when we refresh our index now, list people in a company will go to our new file company with people, and when we select a company, it will display the people in that company.